You know that feeling, right? That sudden drop in your stomach when you hear water where it shouldn't be or a drain just stops working? It's pure stress. Well, that's what we're tackling today. We're going to figure out what really makes a local plumbing service a good one, so if you're ever in that spot, you know exactly who to call.
So let's start with the big question here. Why does plumbing fail, specifically in a place like Plymouth, Minnesota? You might think a leaky pipe is just bad luck, but it's not that simple. The truth is, where your house is and how old it is, well, that creates a very specific set of challenges. It's not random at all. It's all about the environment.
And this really lays it out. Your plumbing is basically in a constant battle with Minnesota's climate. I mean, you've got that brutal freeze-thaw cycle every year that can literally pop a pipe. Then comes spring and all that melting snow just overwhelms sump pumps, especially with the heavy clay soil around here. And if your home is from the 70s or 80s, you could be dealing with old pipes that are rusting out from the inside. Oh, and those beautiful big trees in your yard? Their roots are always looking for a way into your sewer lines. It's a real gauntlet.
So how do you catch these things before they turn into a total catastrophe? Well, your house gives you clues. You just have to know what to look for. You know that weird gurgling sound the toilet makes sometimes? Yeah, that's a sign. Or if the water coming out of the tap looks kind of rusty, that's a huge red flag. And of course, the most obvious one of all, a puddle of water on your floor. These aren't just little quirks. They're symptoms of those bigger problems we were just talking about.
Okay, so understanding these really local issues is half the battle, which, leads us right to the solution. It's all about finding a true local expert, not just someone who knows plumbing, but someone who knows plumbing in your neighborhood with all its specific quirks.
And this is where that local knowledge is just everything. A plumber who's in Plymouth every day just knows that an older house near Parker's Lake is going to have totally different problems than a new build out in Vicksburg Village. They've seen it all before. That means they diagnose the problem way faster, they already know the city's codes and permit rules, and they can give you a fix that's actually going to last, not just some patch that's going to give out next winter.
Because let's be real, a plumbing emergency isn't just about a leak. It creates so much anxiety. And that's why a great plumbing service isn't just promising to fix the problem. They're promising to give you back your peace of mind.
This really gets to the heart of the whole experience, doesn't it? On the left, you've got every homeowner's nightmare. Hidden fees that show up on the final bill, the technician who says they'll be there between 8 and 4, the pressure to buy something you don't actually need, and of course, being left with a giant mess. A real professional service is built to be the exact opposite of every single one of those fears.
And this is probably the biggest one for most people, the fear of the final bill. The key word here is transparency. Knowing the full cost before the work starts, that changes everything. It takes away that awful feeling that you're writing a blank check. Suddenly, you're back in control, even when things feel out of control. And that peace of mind also comes from knowing your biggest investment, your home, is protected. When you hire someone who is fully licensed and insured, they handle all the complicated stuff like city permits and inspections. And that's not just about paperwork. It's a guarantee that the job is done right, that it's safe, and that it's up to code, which is so important for your home's value.
So you might be wondering what actually goes into that price tag. It's not just some random number. The cost really depends on a few key things. Where's the problem? I mean, a leak inside a wall is a lot harder to get to than a dripping faucet. What kind of parts do you need? How long is the job going to take? And does it need a city permit? Understanding these things really helps demystify the entire process.
Okay, so what should this whole thing actually feel like when you pick up the phone and call for help? Well, a professional service is all about turning that chaos into a simple, predictable, and frankly stress-free process.
It really comes down to these 3 simple steps. First, you call and a real human being listens to you. Second, the plumber shows up, figures out what's wrong, and gives you a clear price for your approval. And third, they fix it, they test it to make sure it's working perfectly, and they clean everything up. No drama, no surprises. Just simple. Now, this might seem like a small detail, but it's a huge deal. You'll hear companies say their trucks are fully stocked. But what that actually means for you is that your problem gets solved then and there on the first visit. You're not stuck waiting around for a few days while they go order some special part. The fix is already there, parked right in your driveway.
All right, so let's pull all of this together. What does this all mean for you as a homeowner? Let's just boil it down into the must-haves, the things you should absolutely expect from any plumber you hire.
Think of this as your go-to checklist for quality. It all starts with clear communication, right from that first phone call. It definitely includes respect for your home and things like shoe covers and drop cloths. Those aren't little things, they're big signs of a pro. You should demand upfront, transparent pricing. You need a guarantee on the parts and the work. And it all ends with them leaving your home just as clean as they found it. This isn't asking for too much. This is what the standard should be.
And you know, when you really think about it, it all comes down to this one powerful idea. The sign of a truly great repair is that you can completely forget it even happened. It's fixed, it's done, you don't have to worry about it anymore, your peace of mind is back. That's the whole point, right?
So we'll leave you with this last thing to think about. Your home's plumbing is a complex system, and it's deeply connected to where you live. So the real question is, when that next problem pops up, and it will, is your home going to be protected by a plumber who truly gets it inside and out?